Today we're going to be talking about memorizing essays, and I feel like this is a hotly debated topic, and every single year I always get people asking, how do I memorize my essays? So if you stay and watch the end of this video, you're going to learn what it means to memorize an essay, the pros and cons, and how you should be practicing in terms of a memorized essay in preparation for an assessment. Hi everyone, I'm Lisa, and on this channel I give you weekly advice to help you boost your English studies. If you're new here, then make sure you subscribe, or even if you're not new here, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification buttons, because every single week I offer you an incredible piece of information to help you boost your marks. So I want to start off with a disclaimer saying that I actually don't believe in you completely 100% memorizing an essay and then just regurgitating that in an exam. There's a few downfalls to memorizing essays, and it comes down to the fact that with English as a subject, you will pretty much never get the same essay topic twice. Even if it's something super similar, there's going to be a switch out in the keywords, or perhaps the end of the question is a do you agree instead of a discuss. And just those slight changes can actually make all the difference in how you're going to answer your essay. So while this video will be about memorizing bits and components of essays, I just want to put it out there that you can't just rely on memorization to carry you through. It's really obvious when a student is forcing something to work with an essay prompt rather than actually looking at the essay prompt in front of them and actually thinking about it and responding to it in a way that it deserves. And I think when people ask, how do I memorize an essay? They're sort of not realizing this really important aspect of English, and that's that with every single essay topic, you're going to have to approach it in a slightly different way. And that's sort of what makes the difference between somebody who's going to get that A+ and just blow an examiner's mind away, as opposed to somebody who memorizes a really good essay but probably only gets an A. So my first piece of advice for this is don't think of it as memorizing an entire essay, but I like to think of it as templates that you can use and reuse again. With templates, they're things that you write up where it's sort of like the foundation of your essay, or perhaps it's the foundation of the way you're going to approach a particular theme. And with a template, as we generally understand it, it's something that is the beginning, but you need to fill in the blanks to really make it shine. And I completely get why people would use templates heading into an exam. You know, you've done all this hard work and maybe you've written up particular sentences that you absolutely love, and you know you've just nailed it with those sentences, and they're packed with the right sort of vocabulary that you know is just going to shine in front of an examiner, and you don't want to let all of that go when you're in an exam, and I totally get that. So rather than memorizing a complete essay that's like 1,000 words that you're going to force to make it work with an essay topic, I am an advocate of memorizing bits and pieces that you know you can recycle over and over again. So what are these things that you can recycle? It could be topic sentences, and you could write up particular topic sentences for certain themes, because we know that when it comes to essay topics, there's only so many number of themes that are going to come up, right? So if you're sort of slightly prepared for that already, then you can go into your exam with more confidence and know that you're not just going to completely mind blank when you're in the exam. Or let's say it's a particular quote that you really love, and there's a specific way that you like to talk about it. Every time you come across an essay and every time you use the same quote, you pretty much talk about it in the same way. You elaborate it with using the same words, and you touch on the same sort of themes. So that's also super handy. So now that we know what parts of essays we can use as templates, let's think about advice 2, which is how do we actually get memorizing? My second point here would be to just purely practice writing. I am really not a big fan of just sitting there memorizing an essay and just trying to reread it 100 times so that it sticks in your brain. Like, that's not an efficient time at all, and you probably know this. And you know, I want you to be productive and efficient, and yeah, that's just not the way. So see you later. Instead, what I want you to do is actually practice the writing component of your exam preparation, which you need to do anyway. So sort of two things that you're knocking out with one stone. By practicing writing and reusing these bits of templates, you get to know a couple of things. Firstly, how well your template works with different types of essays and where the limitations in these templates are. So let's say if you've got a particular quote that you love to talk about and you're really trying to make it work with this new essay topic that you've come across, but you find that it's just not working. And if it's not working, don't force it. I think that's a really important part to remember. You can't just force something to work. It's going to be really obvious to an examiner, and you're just wasting your time and wasting that valuable real estate in terms of your word count. The second thing here is when you practice writing, whatever you're rewriting and rewriting again naturally gets embedded in your brain, and you'll come to find that in the future, when you want to reuse these templates, it just becomes more and more natural for you, which has the third added bonus of having a piece of writing that comes naturally and flows and makes sense and sinks in with the essay topic. The third and final thing I will say here in terms of memorizing essays is it's incredibly valuable to actually go back and rewrite essays. So when we rewrite essays, it has that same sort of effect in terms of, okay, I've done this before, let me repeat again and it'll stick to my memory, right? But it's also going to force you to rethink about how you approach essay topics. So whenever I repeat writing an essay, I don't just try to go, okay, how could I just rewrite this in the same way, but in a better way? Instead, I look at it almost with completely fresh eyes and go, you know what, it's 1 week later, I'm 1 week smarter, potentially. So how could I potentially break this essay topic down, and is there a better way of doing this? Then you might find that as you keep improving, your templates will keep evolving as well, and that's what's really essential. When it comes to memorizing essays, I feel like it just completely disregards the fact that you are always getting better as a student. And when you memorize an essay and you're like, yep, at this point in time, I think this is the best thing I've ever written, but then you use that same essay 2 months later, it might not be what you're actually capable of. And I think that's the thing that really strikes me when people ask me about memorizing essays. I think these type of people, and I'm talking to you if you're somebody who thinks you need to memorize essays, I think you're undermining yourself and you don't believe in yourself enough to think that you're capable of going into that exam and having some flexibility so that you could write your best essay ever. In a way, I think it's truly a disservice to yourself if you only think that memorizing an essay is what's going to pull you through and get those great marks. Like, I completely get why you'd want to use a template and reuse those beautiful words that you've picked up along the way, or a particular explanation that you just know is going to kill it and is completely unique to what other students are saying. But with all the steps that I mentioned before, which is to create templates, practice writing, and practice rewriting essays, you should constantly be evolving and constantly be getting better. So the main point of this video is, look, it's up to you. If you want to memorize essays, then go for it. But I think there's a better way for you, and I hope you understand where I'm coming from. If you found this video helpful, then I'd love for you to like it. It would mean a lot to me to understand sort of what pieces of advice you find are helpful and what's not. And please make sure you subscribe to this channel for more awesome advice, and I'll link you to my mailing list where I send weekly exclusive advice to students like you. Thanks guys, see you later, bye.